Hello, folks. How you doing again? Subscribe. I'm going to talk about an elemental character called Ammemet. Ammemet is the devourer. Perhaps some of us have seen scenes, mythological scenes, where they have this monster. It's a scene where the god Thoth or Tot stands in front of the scales, the balances. They have the feather on one side and they have the heart, on the other. Well, the monster in the back there, in the rear, is the devourer called Ammemet. And A-M, the first two letters of the name Ammemet, means to devour, the devourer. So, the devourer, Ammemet, is made up of a lion, a crocodile, and a hippopotamus. These are elemental powers, elemental forces. Now, another thing about these scenes is that they take place within the human. This is how they're described by ancient people. But all these things take place within the human. So now, the person on the scale, actually is a person who's going for a change in his personality, a person who wants to elevate his level of consciousness. But he first has to get rid of his personality, you see, and the forces that support it, because they're all negative. The human personality is negative until the forces that support it are refined to become refined, etc., that they become sort of positive. But anyway, these forces, that is the excess from the heart, after the heart is sort of ready to make the change, the excess, this negative energy, the personality, is devoured by Ammemet. And so when this happens, the forces that supported the personality are taken down to below the navel and to an area that they call, let's say, the house of vitality. Some refer to it as the cauldron. So now when the negative forces go down to the house of vitality, they mingle with vitality, but these negative forces have to be purified. Now, the positive spirit, or the spirit, and its positivity is here in the brain. A little dot there. Okay? The pineal gland. Positive spirit. Okay? But we want this positive spirit to be activated to like maybe the highest degree. And that brings on enhanced perceptual acuity. It's called the third eye, the pineal gland, sometimes a single eye. But we want to raise its level of activity. So it needs vitality. It needs strength. So what we want to do is take that strength from the old personality, which is negative, and make it positive and use it to support the pineal gland, to enhance the power of the pineal gland. That's a type of resurrection. Because here we're going from, let's say, a knowledge to intelligence. We're born with knowledge. Okay. But intelligence is something that we acquire. So intelligence is how we use the knowledge we have, knowledge that we're born with. You may have heard the expression, you don't have the sense you were born with. Well, that indicates that we're born with something. Well, the person's is acting like he's not using that something, which is the knowledge that we're born with. So now, what we have to do now is to take the negative energy of the personality and purify it. Okay? So there are means of purifying it, but we got to be careful. Because that negative energy can escape the body, during the process of earthly living, having fun, enjoyment, engaging in coitus, it will leave the body. We don't want it to leave the body. So what we must do is engage it with vitality, and we take it up to the brain, and we bring it back down. We take it back up to the brain again. This is a purification process. You see? In some situations, they say, well, it goes up the back, comes over, comes back down, and repeats this over and over again. And there are certain phases or stations of purification where this movement may halt for a while. Go through a little purification, then it starts going again, you see. But now, after everything is purified and become all positive, vital energy, it goes to the pineal gland and activates the pineal gland, increases a person's perceptual abilities to see, okay? It's associated with wisdom. So now we have a combination. We have the knowledge in this situation, and we have the intelligence that was mishandled when a person was born into the world. He had knowledge, but he developed a personality based on the things that he was taught and told in life that was negative. He developed a personality that was negative, and this was negative energy, supported by negative energy in the body. In fact, the whole body is virtually negative, except a small portion up here in the brain called the pineal gland. And that's what we wanted to, in this situation, to vitalize, to activate. That is the pineal gland, so that the person could acquire the intellectual capacity and the insight that is needed to use his knowledge wisely. You ever in a situation where a person wanted to say something but didn't know how to say it? Well, he had the knowledge, he knew what he wanted to say, he just couldn't say it. But if he had the intelligence to say it, he would have been able to say it. So intelligence, okay, it uses the knowledge in an intelligent way. Just an example of what we're trying to get at here, But we have to remember, when we see these scenes and these pictures and whatnot, these drawings in the mythology, we're talking about laws. There are laws involved here that a lot of people overlook. They just don't realize that these bizarre images and whatnot are dealing with laws that take place especially in the human body. Learn the laws of the human body, and you will have acquired self-knowledge, knowledge of self. Okay, folks? Have a good day and subscribe, and I'll be back with you. Okay. Bye-bye.